Is that a terrible idea?
It's a terrible idea.
Here's where we go. Okay.
And this is going to piss off the marketing people that listen to this podcast.
Oh my goodness. Well, you already pissed off the poor people that shop on Facebook. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Overlap Podcast, where we dive into the intersection of work, fitness, family, faith, parenting, and leadership. Because we believe that growth in one area of your life fuels growth in all aspects of life. And that's why we're committed to taking the lessons we've learned from business, breaking them down into simple, actionable insights, and empowering small business leaders, but leaders in general, to not just survive, but so they can thrive. And we help entrepreneurs not just succeed, but create meaningful impacts in their business, families, communities, and all of that in between. Welcome back, Keith.
It's nice to be back in the studio.
Yeah.
Even though Tim's not here.
Yeah.
And we just saw my lack of ability in the studio setting it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I finally got it to work.
It did take a while.
Persistence.
I did get a lot of little things done in your absence, so that was good.
So, Tim, we do miss you.
We do. Not sure we can perform at a high level without you at this point in our career.
Oh, don't give him the big head. We'll figure it out. That's what we've been doing. And so,
could you imagine Joe Rogan having a podcast without Jamie?
No, absolutely not.
No, it can't happen.
I mean, the fact that you're comparing us to Joe Rogan.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't we?
I'm probably stronger than he is.
Stronger?
Yeah. Probably not. I mean, all he does is work out with kettlebells.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know.
I'll definitely beat him in jiu-jitsu.
That's not gonna happen. I think he's had his black belt since like 2006.
He has. There's a video of him receiving his black belt.
I have watched it more times than I care to
I
admit.
think it may be the best.
It is.
Black belt speech I've ever heard.
Well, you haven't heard mine yet.
Well, I'm planning. I'm already planning. I've had ChatGPT write mine.
I've been writing mine out for years.
Well, basically what I went to AI and said is, would you write my black belt reception speech in the tone of Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I'm probably going to write mine in the tone of Donald Trump.
That would be good.
I am the best.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying it.
Yes, they do.
You all know it.
That's what they say also when you go to class.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes out of the class goes, Sid was there.
Yeah, he was there. He's the best. Everybody knows it.
He's the best. I think I've lost every serious match I've had since I've got my brown belt.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten better. But I'm going to the morning class. It's not quite that lunchtime death trap of a competition class.
You know how we can get knee barred now, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Jose knee barred me.
Did he? Josh Thompson?
17 times.
Ooh, that's tough.
Not really 17, but like it felt
enough.
And you know how quick it sets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like on 50-year-old knees, that's probably not good.
No. I'm glad they've been gentle with my shoulder. So that's nice.
Yeah.
They're like, which shoulder is it? Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So black belts, Joe Rogan. Okay.
Yeah. What's been going on with you?
So me personally, just getting through quarter one. Spring has sprung and lots of changes, implementing the plan, and trying to execute the plan. That's really the deal. Lots of moving parts in this time of year. New team members in, lots of training has to be done. Things like that. Lots of stuff. So that's on the work side.
I'll be real honest with you. You know how I kind of walk through the office every once in a while? Just check the temperature.
Yeah.
I just like to see what's going on at Sexton.
Yeah. Well, we all appreciate that.
And,
thank you.
Like good snacks in the back.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. It's back.
I will say it was like not very good for a while.
Well, we had our eye off the ball,
Yeah. I like
we were focused on other things.
The hydration packets are nice,
Oh.
and they're back. And probably the reason you didn't have a lot is I took one a day. Much.
Probably 3 a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just walking through has felt good lately.
I know where we can cut some expenses now. Thank you for bringing that up. We're going to hand the hydration packets directly to the crew members.
No, I'm going to need
these in your truck.
I'm going to need you to leave it back there at the ice maker, in which I go to every day.
Oh, is that why it's leaning now? And it makes that noise?
It's leaning?
Yeah, it's got like a lean to it somehow. I noticed it yesterday.
I was going to mention I did a little work on it.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I thought it needed to drain better.
It looks like you did a little work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it felt like, felt positive.
Oh, the vibe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vibe is good. The vibe is good right now.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, look at the temperatures. It's nice to be working outside right now.
Yeah.
So that's good. And people, when you start a new semester in school, everyone's got an A. Right now it's quarter one. Everyone's kind of on track with their rocks and their to-dos and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it probably
the real test will be in the next couple of weeks.
It probably feels good also because, back to the ice maker. In the summer, it's never any ice in it because they're using it all the time. You think
the ice level directly correlates with the good vibes?
The ice level definitely directly correlates to my good vibes.
Oh, okay.
I like a little ice in my water bottle.
You do.
I do.
Do you have ice at your house before you come to the gym?
Yeah, but I have used that by then, and I eat the ice
in that big thermal, water container. Ice.
It's not. I scaled down.
Oh yeah, that's right. You used to have the big one.
Yeah, I kind of scaled down, but I love this water bottle.
Oh, okay. They should probably be a sponsor of the podcast.
They should.
We won't mention them until they do.
That's correct.
But like everyone else, we give free advertisement to.
We'll let you know who you are.
Our breadth and reach in this podcast is so vast that people really should pay us handsomely for mentioning just mentioning their products.
Yeah, I have a new Yeti cup. I gave you one.
You did. They're fantastic.
They're great for coffee, wine, bourbon.
Oh, are you telling me right now that Yeti is a new sponsor?
No, I didn't. But
damn,
dadgummit,
that would have been good.
I'll send this to them. They'll pay.
Yeah, probably. Hey, I noticed they are a sponsor of CrossFit because when you saw the open forms, it had Yeti's logo on it.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was an odd partnership. Yeti, CrossFit. I don't know.
Well, think about it. When they go ice their arms at the end of it's always a Yeti cooler.
Is it?
Where they're putting their arms in because they're all froze up or whatever.
Okay. Probably lots of inflammation there.
Yeah.
Well, thought it was an interesting partnership, but I guess. What have you been up to?
Oh man, all kind of stuff. We just launched an audiobook. New author.
I feel like I could be an audiobook voice-over guy. I'm probably going to go into that.
I did, but I do. I am announcing later this year. I'm getting into I bought a series of Westerns.
Okay.
One of the things that I've done in the past, and so I'm kind of going back to it. This is something I'm going back to is out of date and out of print books, digitizing them that are not digital.
Okay.
And just bringing them to the digital market. And so I bought a series from a family that had their father had written books in the 1980s. Very, very good Westerns. And so I'm launching a 15 series book series.
Yeah. Coupling that on the back of, Yellowstone and 1883 and 1923.
So. And so be watching for that.
Okay.
Late 2026.
Was it Taylor Sheridan's family?
I meant 2025.
Okay.
We'll probably start launching the books, but we're going to launch about one every other month until they run out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 30 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 months.
Yeah.
You are so
almost
good at
3
math.
years.
And this is why we have a podcast.
No, I don't really know. We have a podcast because COVID hit.
Yes, we did. We were bored.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about? Yeah. Hey, speaking of what are we going to talk about today? Keith came in fired up this morning with an idea. And I think this kind of ties in with what he's been doing, although he didn't segue into it. I will. Keith, tell us what other things you've been up to. You've been pontificating about with Hatch specifically.
Well, so when you take over or start anything, you go into it kind of blind most of the time, especially like when you start a business. And I think that so many times I've gone into things not having a clear, defined message that I need to be sending.
Okay.
And in the age that we're in and have been in, I think there's some misconceptions about social media and about content and about the things that I've been in this space for 20 years. But I don't know that I ever thought about, as much as I'm thinking right now, about clearly communicating a message and which mechanism to use as I communicate it.
Okay.
And so I want to talk about today creating a communication plan and around marketing and coming up with clear, concise plans for what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and where you're going to say it.
Okay.
It's something I've not thought about like as a plan. We put financial plans together. We put product plans together. But marketing is this thing where we have a marketing plan, but do we really dial in where we say it and how we say it? Do we dial in the message that we're putting out on X versus the message that we're putting out on Facebook?
So therein lies like maybe the difference. I think some people are listening and some people might say, look, in marketing, I never thought about a plan, but I think other folks have been like, oh yeah, marketing plan. Yeah, we do it every year. This is how much we're going to allocate. This is where it's going to go to. This is roughly what we think the reach is going to be. These are the number of leads we think we can generate from that. And those leads we're going to generate. This is what we think we can sell off of those leads. And that's kind of how we come up with what's our revenue going to be,
And so you think about what you're talking to if you have commercial and residential products?
Yeah.
Do you differentiate?
Do you separate? And so that's where I was going to say, that's where the difference, when you're talking about a communication plan or whatever, the difference from, just a traditional marketing plan, I think you're saying on the surface, a marketing plan, but subsurface, you're going, but it's more than that. It's what are you going to say for individual platforms?
Correct.
So that they reach that audience that's on that platform correctly.
And individual client groups.
Yeah.
So if you have residential clients and you have commercial clients, are you differentiating that in the platform in which you're using?
Okay. Tell me about that. So let's double click on that. What if you got residential clients, where are you finding them and how are you speaking to them?
Depending upon your product cost. So your product cost, so general demographic says this. If you have a product under, say, $1,000, and you have a client in the demographic of 30 to 40 years old, you're not going to go to Facebook for that.
Okay.
30 to 40-year-olds aren't on Facebook.
Okay.
40 to 60-year-olds are.
Okay.
at a certain demographic who can buy a $1,000 product.
Mm-hmm.
Typically someone that has a little money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you want to hit a 40-year-old lower income demographic, they're on Facebook.
Oh, great. Now, way to stir the pot.
Maybe so. But
send all of your emails about how you love Facebook and you buy stuff off of Facebook and you're not poor to Keith Glines at whatever, Hatch or something.
If you're under 40 right now, send me a message that love that Facebook.
Oh, okay. Keith would love to get countervailing information to undo his confirmational bias on this opinion, this thesis he has.
I'll prove a point.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'll prove a point right now.
I'm just saying you offended the people.
Oh,
so
really?
Don't ask me. I got kicked off of Facebook.
You don't even have a Facebook account.
I don't even have one.
That's because
someone hacked into it.
That's because you're probably trying to sell sketchy products.
I wouldn't, man. And to be fair, I was never on Facebook.
Yeah, you never were. You only had it for your business account.
I think I had it when Facebook was early on, and then I was off social media, and then I only got on Instagram when kids were on it, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is a better platform. I don't have to listen to, what was it, back in the day, how Trump was going to ruin the world, and the latest, oatmeal cream cookie thing.
Recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so Instagram seemed to be way cooler.
I do not mind oatmeal cookies, though.
Oh, man, me neither. But I wasn't going to make them. And all they did was make me hungry. So Instagram seemed better. But it's turned into that now.
You have LinkedIn, don't you?
I have LinkedIn.
I see your cool AI-generated headshot on there.
Yeah. Well, when you look like me, you have to have some AI-generated help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have any pictures with me with a suit on.
Yeah.
So I just had AI do it.
Oh, my God.
Hey, guys, I want to tell you about my friend Wes Cody. He's the president of C2 Wealth Strategies, a financial advisory firm dedicated to providing personalized solutions for your financial needs. Wes and his team of professionals are passionate about helping clients create wealth and achieve financial freedom. At C2 Wealth Strategies, they believe in taking a holistic approach to financial planning and are committed to building long-lasting relationships with their clients, ensuring their financial well-being every step of the way. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Contact Wes and C2 Wealth today at c2wealth.com to schedule a consultation. Let Wes and his team help you build your financial future.
If you're a small business owner looking to take your business to the next level, listen up. My good friend Chris Francis has spent over 20 years growing his tree care business to national success. Now he's partnered with Rick Miller, you've probably heard him here on the podcast before, Harvard MBA, and business consultant to create Roadmap for Growth, an online course to help you scale, build teams, and create systems that last. It's not just for the tree industry. This course applies to any small service business. Check out treebusiness.com or hit the link on the Overlap homepage to learn more. Back to the platforms. What you're saying is that demographics,
what I'm saying
migrate to certain. They flock to certain platforms.
What I'm saying is Walmart and Target have different messaging.
They do.
Because why? They have different demographics.
Do they have different messaging for different different platforms?
They definitely do.
Okay, so
yeah, if you look at if you look at their marketing,
yeah.
If you look at their marketing, they have different messaging per state.
Yeah. Okay.
If you look at the ads, just talk about ad spend here.
Okay.
If you look at Walmart's ad spend, I know the guy who does it. They have, in some states, they have different messaging per region of the state.
Okay. I can see that.
For the very same products.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you need to get that specific in your marketing plan, small business owner, but I do think you need to respect the platform. Are you using Walmart or are you using Target? Versus Facebook is Walmart.
Okay.
X is Target.
X is Target. Okay.
Yeah. Think about that. Or Instagram rolls over there too.
Okay.
So you've got a little younger demographic. Instagram is kind of growing though because it's blurring the lines between Facebook and Instagram right now. But if you look at the demographic between X, and that's probably changed now that Elon has it, and all of this right wing stuff is like permeating on it. You hear a lot of people to say I'm getting off X or whatever from that are on the left. But if you just look at it at simple numbers, the platforms are different. So that means that the messages that you put on them need to be directed at those demographics.
Okay. So
yeah. So that's what I'm saying
that's
with having
a
communication plan.
What about if you, so that's for residential. We kind of talked about that, pick who, number one, probably pick who, who is your audience? Who are you selling to?
Right.
And then two, craft a message to go on the appropriate platform. So let me ask this question, because I was thinking about this. That number two part, craft your message to go on the appropriate platform. So if you're saying let's say I'm selling a low ticket item, $200 or less, and I'm going, so that by your thesis there, you're saying I need to go to Facebook, and then how is that message different than some message I might put anywhere else?
That message is going to be crafted for that demographic. And so if you're selling, say, okay, typical, let me use publishing.
Okay.
If I want to sell a book and that book is directed at, say it has a love story.
Okay.
I am going to look for 30 to 40-year-old women.
Mm-hmm.
That means that they have kids that are beyond infancy.
Okay.
That means they're going to typically be stay-at-home moms that have the time to read a book.
So you're going to find a place where they're hanging out on social media?
Correct.
Okay.
Which is Facebook.
Yeah. Is it?
By the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stay-at-home moms on Facebook. Got it.
Because the typical demographic that reads.
And then you're going to craft a message. How does that message sound different than something that might be on Instagram?
That message is going to be typically longer.
Okay.
And it's going to be in story form that intrigue them. Instagram's going to be
like the story brand kind of story form, or are we saying something different?
Or like if it's a book, you're going to take part of that story and you're going to place it there.
Oh.
To intrigue them to get to click.
Oh.
And then you're going to on Instagram, you're going to give short snippets or quotes with an image, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to respect the platform.
Okay.
And what I found, and this is what got me into this, is we were pushing messaging out and we were not taking into consideration who was reading it.
This is Hatch?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the scientific community was getting the very same thing as the founders were. Have you ever met scientists?
Yeah.
They don't give
we both know one.
Yeah, they don't give a crap about what founders think about.
Do they not?
No.
Yeah, you're probably right. The scientists we know, that they don't really care about what we think either.
Correct. Yes.
Unlike you, audience, we appreciate your yeah.
So the scientific community was getting the same messaging. Do you think they were engaging with it? No. The moment I started putting scientific messaging for the scientific community,
mm-hmm.
they began engaging.
Oh, so how about this for scientific terminology? So you had to bifurcate your communication, one to the scientific community, and
then one to the founder
community. Yes. Yeah. If I said that more cleanly, it would have sounded way smarter.
Yeah, it would have sounded way smarter. But you made
there's a dichotomy in the communication.
But you made our point in the
Yeah.
fact that you or I probably should not be communicating to the scientific community.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So
Do they do jujitsu?
no,
Not my people. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So-
what if I have commercial clients? Where do I find them? Like business or professionals.
I'm gonna give an ad here for LinkedIn advertising.
Oh my gosh.
It is one of the most.
Are they sponsoring our podcast?
No, but they're going to. It is one of the most effective platform.
How are we going to
marketing.
replace Tim if we don't up our marketing, our income stream? How do we not do that?
Well, we're gonna replace. We wouldn't do it on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Sorry, back to LinkedIn. You were giving them a love.
Tim's type is not on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Tim don't care about LinkedIn.
Gotcha. I know, but we need their revenue.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. So if I wanted to, so if you came to me with your company and said, "Hey, I want to pinpoint who buys at commercial landscaping,"
Mm-hmm.
who?
Oh, those are CEOs or facilities directors or chief operating officers or some
Got
sort of regional managers.
So if you wanted to attract a facilities manager from a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn's your place.
Yeah. Okay. They're not on Facebook?
Not they may be if they're granddads.
Okay.
If not, no, they're probably not there, and they probably don't engage there. Even if they are on Facebook, they wouldn't look at your ad there. But they would on LinkedIn if it said, "Hey, facilities manager. Hey, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for a new landscape company to beautify your facility?"
Yeah.
They would look for that.
On LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And how would my messaging be different than if it was on Facebook? Yeah.
It would talk very, very technical.
Okay.
That in words they would understand there.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think you would ever use a return on investment or ROI on Facebook? No.
Perhaps not.
You would probably use that term on LinkedIn.
What if I have the same messaging for each marketing piece and I'm just pushing it through an aggregator? Is that a terrible idea?
It's a terrible idea.
Here's where we go. Okay.
Yeah,
Is this a rabbit hole?
And this is going to piss off the marketing people that listen to this podcast.
Oh my goodness! Well, you already pissed off the poor people that shop on Facebook.
Oh,
so.
I got calls the other day from marketing people.
Oh yeah,
actually our marketing people.
Oh okay.
And I know y'all are listening.
I didn't know we had marketing people.
We do Content Fresh.
Oh okay.
Yeah, that's putting out our social media.
Okay. I did notice it looked good and it was consistent, so I knew it couldn't have been you.
It has been consistent, but not varied per platform, which we're about to start to do.
Oh my God! Here we go.
So aggregators have a problem with tagging.
Okay.
And if you're building, what is the point of social media?
That sounds like a rhetorical question. You tell me.
To build community, right?
Okay.
So we're building community.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was to death scroll.
In any, it is.
Time.
Well, Twitter right now from RX right now, I can't keep from calling. I like Twitter so much.
Yeah, Twitter's a better name.
All the way around.
Yeah.
But you know what Elon says? He said, when you put a video on there, you're not tweeting.
Good point.
And so that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's to build community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if our job in marketing, when we're using social platforms, is to build our own little, dynasty communities, then why are we not calling people out in the middle of the post And aggregators are very hard to do that with.
And you're saying tagging people.
Correct. Like if you're working
the
for...
city of Fairhope or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. And then tagging them and they can pick it up and then they can share it or be a part of your community or whatever.
Right.
You're giving them love.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like being mentioned in real life.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you feel good.
Public recognition.
Public recognition.
Okay. I like it.
And so
aggregators don't do a good. You can't really tag people.
It's
that way.
very hard in an aggregator.
Gotcha.
And so if your general messaging is if you're working with commercial clients and you can list those clients, it'd be good to do so.
Okay.
Because guess what you get when you do that?
What do you get?
Their audience too.
Oh, okay. If they share it or if they don't share it?
If they share it.
Okay.
And typically they're going to share it because you're creating them free content. And so anytime someone shares something good about me, I reshare it because not because it makes me feel good, but if it's a well-written piece, it creates me content also when I reshare it.
So is that like when me, you, and Scott were doing the group pull-up yesterday?
Yes.
And RX Sport Fit tagged us?
Yep.
Oh, and you reshared it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like I was doing most of the pulling. I basically pulled us all three up.
You really? No.
Yeah.
You did.
My shoulder is back. I'm back. I'm so back.
I heard you say that.
Yeah.
And then I watched you do that workout.
Yeah, it was perfect.
As you were grabbing the bucket to puke.
Oh, yeah, that was Monday. Yeah, that one tough. That was tough. Cardio's not back.
No, my cardio is awful.
Oh, God, me too. I feel like I've been eating cheesecakes every day or something.
But yeah, so just my whole point in this communication plan is just think who you're talking to. We don't think about who we're talking to and the audience in which we're speaking to when we put stuff out on, and it's beginning to drive me nuts.
Oh, gotcha.
And I realized I wasn't doing it as I looked this week. And let me tell you what cued me in on it.
Okay.
Someone else took our content and shared it to the right people in their post. I have more followers. I have more interaction. And their post tripled the effect of mine. And it was pretty much the same post.
Okay. Interesting.
And I looked and I was like, well, you know what? They did this right. They spoke to their audience.
And they got greater engagement.
Much greater engagement.
Gotcha.
And so gone is the days that I think 100 posts get you anything. I think one well-written post beats 100 every time.
Yeah, you were saying that, and I'm glad you sort of mentioned it. The days of Gary V of just post 100 times a week.
Yeah.
And just beat them down with...
Yeah, because the algorithms figured it out.
Yeah.
The algorithms figured out that you're just posting a lot, but not very good stuff.
Yeah, sort of like the early days of SEO when you would just cram the words in for word.
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah,
that was
you could really
easy.
You could really game that whole thing.
Oh, especially in the back end of a website, you could absolutely put in the code, the stuff that you wanted it to show up for.
Yeah. Now they've got it figured out.
They've got it figured out.
It's local
all
and relevant.
Based.
Yeah. It's crawling your space and you can't. Yeah.
So I think we've talked about this before. And I'm getting to ramp up right now Hatch's blog or journal, if you want to call it. I think it's the most powerful tool a company can use to integrate in their communication plan.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Because you can create one piece of content.
The blog or the journal. Okay.
And it feeds all of your social platforms. It feeds your website. And it gives you a lasting piece of content on the topic in which you want to promote. And then it gives you pieces for your newsletter that we've not talked about yet.
Okay.
And so the purpose of social media is this.
Wait, create a community, right?
Community.
I got it. I remembered that one.
And to bring people back to your home base.
Okay. So
which should be your website or your so you can capture the information and own it. Because we've seen over the last 10 years, social media platforms change algorithms and the ways that you can communicate on their platforms over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can capture one person and move them to my home base, which is my business, which is now in the digital world, your website, then I own it then.
Okay. Until they unsubscribe. But
until they unsubscribe.
But so
and that's
then
your job. That's your job to create content that keeps them from unsubscribing.
Yeah, I was going to
say.
And
then if they unsubscribe from there, you can say, "Oh, we did a piss poor job at communicating to them."
You've got some measurable feedback.
And so, what I would say is that a journal on your website or a blog, as they used to be called, is the most powerful tool you have. SEO wise, programmatically. Being able to communicate a message, it is a powerful tool. If you don't have a blog, you should have one.
Okay. Does Hatch have a blog, or are you starting?
We do.
Okay.
We do have a blog.
What's the frequency one should upload new content in your blog?
Let's not be too hard on yourselves. Do one every other week.
One every other week?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'd produce.
So 26 blog posts a year.
26 blog posts a year.
What an order. But what if I'm just trying to run my business and I don't have time for all that?
Then pay somebody to do it.
Okay. All right. How many posts on social media if I'm trying to just reach the residential client?
One a day.
One a day, but good content.
Good content. And the blog that you write once a week can drive all of those posts.
Okay. But in the one a day, so that's 5 a week, or is that 7?
5 a week.
5 a week. Yeah. Okay. And then and if I'm not using an aggregator to schedule those and push them out, what do you suggest I do?
You're getting penalized anyway if you use an aggregator.
Tell me more about that.
The individual platforms have created schedulers inside the platform now. Every one of them. They want you to use their scheduler.
Gotcha.
The only one that I think that, and here we go mentioning another company. The only one that I think that can usurp the aggregation penalty is HubSpot.
Oh, man. So
only because
are they going to be a new sponsor?
Yeah, they need to be.
God, we sound like we're destitute. We're not, actually. It's become a funny thing.
Yeah.
Carry on. HubSpot.
Yeah, HubSpot. I think HubSpot right now is the cat's pajamas. The way that they allow you to, and this is going to sound like creepy, the way they allow you to like stalk your visitors.
Oh.
From your social to your web to your newsletter.
Emails.
It's pretty amazing.
Open rates. Yeah.
Like, I was on a call with HubSpot a couple of weeks ago, and they did this little test. And they could see literally everything I was doing.
Nice.
They saw me get on their website. They saw me move to their newsletter. They saw me move to their socials. And they showed me that. So I think when you're looking at a system like that those are super valuable. But you have to be at a certain level to be. I was
going to say, HubSpot isn't for...
It is not for the meek.
Yeah.
And it's not for someone that doesn't see the value.
It's not for someone just starting out.
No. So if you are just starting out, take the extra 10 minutes to roll over to X, schedule your post. To roll over to LinkedIn, schedule your post.
And have those different communication styles.
And hey, let me give you a little secret.
Okay.
Take your Facebook message that you've written, roll into ChatGPT and say, frame this for LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. And it will rewrite it for LinkedIn in a more professional tone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, there's a new product I'm actually working on that it's going to help you with that.
Is it called
I'll
Breathe?
be able to. It is. I'll be able to breathe out. I'll be able to share that with you in a couple months.
All right. So, AI.
But yeah, so use AI.
Okay.
Don't try to recreate the wheel. AI knows better than you.
My wife thinks differently.
I know she's scared of it.
Nah, she just thinks it's going to dumb down society where it doesn't know how to write or think for itself. I don't know. Time will tell.
Hey, let me tell you about a friend of the show called Content Fresh. Since they've taken over our social media for the Overlap podcast, we've seen incredible growth. When you combine the growth from all social platforms, we're looking at a massive increase of 2,235%. This partnership has truly transformed our reach and engagement. If you're passionate about growing your business, partnering with Content Fresh could be a game changer for you. Go to overlaplife.com and click on sponsors today.
I want to take a moment to talk about someone who's been instrumental in my personal and business success. That's Johnny Barranco and his team at Barranco & Associates. For over 7 years, Johnny has been my go-to accountant and financial consultant. I can tell you that he's more than just a tax preparer. Johnny takes a holistic approach to all my financial dealings, aligning them with my long-term plans and personal lifestyle. I've recommended Johnny to several friends throughout different business groups around the country, and the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional. His expertise and service are top-notch. So if you're looking for someone who not only prepares your taxes, but also helps you strategize for the future, Johnny and his team at Barranco & Associates are the ones to call. Trust me, you won't regret it. So contact Johnny Barranco today and take the first steps towards financial peace. You're not going to regret this. So the communication plan, if you had to summarize it, what would you say? What is the audience? What does our audience need to know now that we've chatted about these things?
We tell you on this podcast to have a plan for everything else, product plans, financial plans, whatever. You should think about the way that you communicate.
Be intentional.
Be intentional about the way that you, if numbers are the language of business, then the words that you say matter to get the numbers. And so maybe you should think about the way that you're showing the world your products.
Gotcha.
Maybe you should think about the way that you're showing the world, like, what you do for them.
Okay. And that ought to generate the right type of customer coming in to inquire and hopefully purchase your product or service.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if you need to know any more about that, hit me up. I'll be happy to share with you. This is the world
he's on a tear.
This is the world I've lived in for 20 plus years. I would love to talk to you about it. I'm actually pretty impressed that you've thought as much about your communication as you have.
I love marketing. It's kind of my gig. I love it. I didn't like it at first, but I did start. I really like marketing.
Yeah,
and it's one of the classes in school that really like hit. Like it was like, oh, I connect with this.
You actually helped me to prove a lot of points. I actually used you in a talk the other day.
Oh my!
That companies should be doing their own.
Yeah. I like it.
And you've moved back to doing your own.
Yeah, it's better.
And I think and I've told you like numerous times, this is way better.
It's better. And it doesn't take a whole bunch of time.
No.
We are pretty good at it. But like
and you have and what I want to point out too is you used a pretty high level person in your organization to even take that role on. Which most people don't do. They place it at the lowest level.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's
and so what you did that I think is very, very unique is you put someone that actually knows how to communicate the message in which you're trying to push out to the world.
Yeah. And just for us, we just meet once a week for about an hour.
Yeah.
And we got a game plan
and
once a week.
And you have a big organization.
Would say
fairly
big.
Well.
Yeah, but
in the small business world, you're higher.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. There's lots of moving parts.
Yeah, and it takes you how long? 1 hour?
About an hour. Now, we do have a marketing like quarterly, and we'll do a little deep dive. We've got a big, an overall plan, and we're just kind of executing the plan and staying on track week to week.
And so the point I am making is if you're at your level and it takes you an hour a week, the average person, the average business small business is much smaller than that. It'd probably take them 30 minutes a week.
But we do use HubSpot, and it does help.
Yeah,
it does. Really does.
But there's a lot of tools that you can use that are lesser than HubSpot,
probably,
if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, it saves you time.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it wouldn't save time.
Yeah, Meta and Google both produce some pretty good reports.
Yep,
they do, that you can really get. So
yeah. Now let me do say this: you can totally use Meta's Business Suite to post simultaneously.
Yeah.
On Instagram and Facebook.
Yes,
but those messages need to be different. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
And with Meta AI, you can absolutely go in there and make it different.
Oh, that's a good point. I've not used that.
Meta AI is good.
Yeah, Lamb, is that what it's called? But Meta AI is what I'm saying. But I guess
one of those.
The thing on the background is Lamb.
Yeah, but it's built into Scheduler now.
Huh.
And so you can totally go in there and say, give me a different message.
Nice. All right. Well, get you a communication plan, a marketing plan, what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, where you're going to say it. Be intentional about that. That's what I got from this.
Yep. Hey, I will post the guide that I wrote for this communication plan.
Is it an ebook that I have to sign up for so you can capture my... I'm just joking. Sorry. Keith gave me a crazy look. Oh, goodness.
No, I was just thinking that'd be a good idea.
I know. I should have just said it like it was my idea.
So go to our website, overlaplife.com, and sign up for our new communication plan ebook.
There you go. We'll give it free. Just give us your email address.
Yep.
All right. I got to get out of here.
Okay. Peace.
Thanks.